The views and opinions expressed within the video content found on the Indie Comics Network are those of the speakers and do not necessarily reflect the views or positions of the Indie Comics Network or its sponsors. Have a question or comment for us to address on the show? Have a topic you want us to talk about? Email us at indiecomicsnetwork@gmail.com. Want your comics to arrive in pristine condition? Head over to GeminiComicSupply.com and save 10% on your next Gemini mailer order or anything in the Gemini Comics Supply store. Use coupon code RAGIN10. That's RAGIN 10.
Lockdown Games and Luke Stone Studios presents Hybrids, the role-playing game. This core rules to the new Base Plus 2 game engine allows you to design your own character and create your own homebrewed adventure, complete with charts, maps, and every resource needed to dive right into the Hybrids universe on your own, or continue where the quick play left off with a brand new module. Get caught up on the series with the Killing Field trade paperback, enhanced with creator commentary and behind-the-scenes information. This special edition gives you even more value and entertainment. All this and more on Indiegogo.
Good morning. Morning.
Hey.
Afternoon. Happy time zone. It's the weekly fingers right down there. How is everyone doing this Saturday morning? God, it's good to be back. I'm so sad I had to miss last week.
I
did the same.
We were all
came up, so I wasn't able to be on the stream too. So
Yeah, we were running errands, and then I was like, "Oops! It's 3:30 in the afternoon." Whoops! I will pull my microphone closer. So, what does everyone have to do this week?
just hanging out, doing what we do.
That sounds about right.
Let's see.
Well, you never know. There might be some new people watching, so it's probably best if we introduce ourselves.
There we go.
Exactly. Marv, how about you? Where do you come from? Where did you go?
Well, I come from a small Latino country called Portugal in Europe. Very small.
Bigger than the Netherlands.
And I'm the creator of the Sin Killer that will be soon launching on Fund My Comic. I'm taking care of the campaign right now, looking good. The site is awesome. And I've been working with Fairs and Ants by our friend Mike Jimmy and Arrow Comics. And and also I've been working on another IP that I have. I'm working on writing God's Pack. So that will be finished very soon in a couple of weeks. The writing, because drawing is another thing. So yeah.
It always is.
Sorry I'm a little late. But I had to do some stuff here at home and I didn't prepare my the stuff for drawing. But yeah. That's been my week.
Sweet. Rodney, how about you?
Hey, everybody. I am playing the part of John Celestri today. So I'm a veteran of the animation field for the last 52 years. Born and raised from Brooklyn, New York. Oh, I'm sorry.
At least show the people.
Hang on. Let's flip that around.
There it is. Mustache.
Perfect.
Hi, everybody. I worked on such animated classics as the Boba Fett Holidays Christmas Special. I worked on Rock and Roll, Space Ace, Dragon's Lair, and a whole bunch of other stuff.
I would have loved it if you had just watched every single one of those titles. So Boba Fett the Christmas special.
Yeah. He-Man.
Yes, I did work on He-Man as well. And I had used some good lotion and cream this week, so I look a little younger than normal. So
it's the
Not
lighting.
much though.
Hey. Yeah, that and the lighting. Yeah,
It must be. Did you get a toupee?
Yeah. See that? All right, but watch this, folks. Oh, suddenly it's Rodney. Hey, everybody, how we doing? This fella here is Rodney Fyke. You can find me on Facebook, Instagram, and the Twitch, Rodney Fyke Arts. Also right here on the Indie Comics Network for Thursday Night Throwdown, Fyke It, Let's Draw on Mondays, and right back here. Also, Doghouse from Hasm Productions is currently live on Kickstarter, and it is kicking ass. So please go check it out and give it some love if you haven't already. And that's me and what I do. Now I'm going to switch back to my Boba Fett.
It just dawned on me you're drawing Boba Fett too, so you're really playing the part.
Right?
Yeah, exactly. Well, actually, I'm drawing the Mandalorian.
Oh well, you just said going back to Boba Fett. So
I know. It just dawned on me that it's not Boba Fett; it's the Mandalorian.
Yeah,
And to celebrate the kickoff of season 3 of the Mandalorian.
season. It's Boba. It's season. What is it? Part Boba Fett's Mandalorian season 2, part 3, or whatever it was. That was the end of Boba Fett.
No clue. I never watched any of them.
I don't remember how they labeled that.
I don't. I'm just picking because like the last 3 episodes of Boba Fett was pretty much the Mandalorian.
Oh yeah, this is true. Yeah.
Of course it would be though. Well, see, how about you? Since we haven't actually gone down the line yet. We always do this. Like we end up with the two of us, and then it's like, yeah, whatever. We're doing an art, whatever.
Hey, I'm C. Michael Lanning, independent artist, sometimes like to be called graphic translator, med scribbler, or any other type of thing you want to call me. I've done work for Arrow Comics, for Calico Shard. I've done work for Haslam Productions on the current Doghouse, which is on Kickstarter right now. Go back it. Sorry, Glenn, I'm not outside the box anymore. I've canceled that show. That show no longer exists. However, I will be doing a new show with Chad Perkins, where we'll be building a comic book. So it should be pretty interesting because we're going from the ground floor up. We have a loose concept, and we're going to see what happens there. So tune in. That's coming in April.
Times, because then I might be interested.
Say again?
Would this be normal European times? Because if so, then I would like to actually join that. That sounds like fun.
No, it's going to be on Tuesday nights.
Ah, shame.
Yeah, no, it's just going to be Chad and doing the book and going through the whole motion. So it's going to be a long time. We're starting from the ground up, from style guides to character designs to plot to story, things like that. So
that should be nice. That should be interesting to watch. That'll be
pretty
cool.
Well,
but that leaves you, Mike.
I know, right? And then I'm busy again, and I forget about it. Hey everyone, I'm Mike Jimmy Lortia de Bruin, creator of Fairies and Ends, CEO of Fairies and Ends, my publishing house, and creator of Vasconcelos, which I am translating right now. So if you're looking at the weird text on the screen and me translating from English, that's because I'm translating it to Dutch. So that's what I do right now. And other than that, you can find me on Thursday afternoons here on the Indie Comics Network doing Hung on Animation, where I work on an animated pilot for my series Vasconcelos. And besides that, I'm here on Sketchy Saturdays, whenever life doesn't get in the way, doing the art stuff, because apparently I do art too. Nobody knew.
Sometimes, yeah.
Sometimes. Occasionally.
Just a little bit of art here and there.
Yeah,
nothing too much. You do it moderately so you don't get stuck in the habit and become addicted to it. But
exactly.
Don't want it to become a thing.
Yeah.
The Glenn's in the chat. No, yeah, sorry. No more outside the box. I can't even do it anymore. Without laughing at you, Glenn. Sorry. But the rigors of art. So MarV, you doing some brown paper sketches today, huh?
Yeah, I'm working on the piece. Maybe I will give this piece to a friend. I'm just making sure that it's going to be good so that he can have it and maybe sell it for his campaign. I haven't talked to him yet, but he's doing a comic, and I'm very excited about it. And I had started this a couple of years ago, but I never finished. So I'm going to finish and give it to him so that he can put as a head on or whatever. And it's a duel between two cowboys, so they are preparing themselves to fight each other. And this is a Nita paper. This is a very, very good paper. It's very smooth on this side, and the other side is a little bit textured, so you can play around with both sides. And it's a very sensitive paper because you can't press too much with the pencil, because if you do so, that it will be basically impossible to erase the marks, the scratches that you put on the paper. But it's very, very good to draw, because you can once you apply the lighting, you will get fantastic effect with this paper.
Yeah, I see the lighting on his shoulder.
Coloring. Yeah. It's Very cool. I have a bunch of drawings with this kind of paper. If you do traditional art, try this because it's just amazing. And sometimes people say that the tools don't make an artist. I believe it does, because since I started using this paper, my art just went to another level.
Oh, okay. Well, I mean, it is the artist that picks the medium, right? So, so in some ways, yeah.
I mean, trying new things is always a good thing.
Oh yeah. Look,
Well,
I
you
went
can
and picked
fail
up
at
some
it,
brushes. Look, I picked up some brushes and stuff yesterday, and we'll see how that works. How that turns out.
What'd you
It
get?
turns out the big mess. I didn't get anything special. Don't
Okay.
think I'm not going to come out with some Winsor Newton sable brushes or anything like that, because I want to try it first. But I can't remember the name of these brushes. Let me see. There's Simply Simmons.
Okay.
It's a round brush. It's one's a round brush. It's a number 1, and the other is another round brush, which is a number. Oh, it's a number 2. I thought it was a number 4 for some reason. So my question is this, though. I'm looking at the bristles, right, and they're pretty stiff, which I'm not used to that on a paintbrush. But after all, I know nothing about painting, so that doesn't mean anything. Are they going to stay stiff like that as long as they work well, or
if they're actually like if they actually feel like one stiff unit, then they're probably glued together to protect them up until the first time you use them. So what you want to do is just dip them in water and swish them around for a little bit to release that glue. And after that, they'll be ready to paint.
What if I don't want to release that glue and use it? Because I like the sniffness. That's the thing.
You should have brought a brush pen, like a marker brush pen.
I don't like those. I use that. I do have one of those.
Look, we can only do so much for you.
Yeah, no, I don't like those. I just cause it just doesn't. I don't. It doesn't. These, even if it does what you're saying it's going to do, which I'm sure it will, but even with that, it feels like it has more control than you would have on a brush pen. I might be wrong there. I've tried using a brush pen. I don't like the strokes it makes. I just can't get it to work right for me.
Yeah, I think that that's a quality issue there, and I think that you'll find you'll have a lot more control. Like I have a Pentel brush pen, and those are perfect for like con sketches.
Yeah,
you're not trying to be precise, and everybody knows it's a con sketch and what to expect there. So yeah, but if I'm doing pages or I'm doing something that really needs to look nice, I'm busting out the Princetons or the Winstons, or whatever.
Well, that's what I had was a Pentel brush pen. I didn't like it. I didn't like how it worked on doing stuff. But I'm taking your word for it, Rodney. If this doesn't work, I'm blaming you. So just let you know.
Okay.
Because you said if no, and I'm kidding here. So, but you said that once I learn how to do the brush, I'm going to love it and I won't ever turn back. So,
well, I'm
still stand by that.
There. No, I know. Well, no, I mean, but I've said that because when I was working on G.I. Joe, I was really good. I got really good with the brush, and then the guy that I was apprenticing for lost the gig, and consequently, I lost my gig, and I stopped using the brush because I didn't need it anymore. And a year later, when I went back and tried to use it, I had lost it. So, you gotta, and I haven't really picked it up since, just because of being too busy. Because it takes time,
Yeah, it's not the easiest skill to learn, but if you can get those lines down, it's faster, it's easier. And if you want a middle ground to that, then be like me and grab a cheap pen, dip pen, very basic.
I do have those too.
Yeah,
Yeah,
like that's my favorite.
And I'll be honest, I didn't get what you got yet because again, I want to try it because if I don't like it, I don't want to spend a whole bunch of money on something that's just going to sit around.
Well, this is why I love the G pens because I get them for like $8, 10 of them on Amazon. So I think I supplied myself with like 50 of them a couple of months ago. I'm set for years. But yeah,
how often do they go out? They don't go out very often.
Well, it
depends
on how well you take care of them.
Yeah, if I don't drop them, then they go for months.
If you clean them properly and don't let the water sit in them, because if you let the water sit in a brush, it's gonna, it's wood. The handle's wood, so the wood's gonna expand, and the brush is gonna get fucked up.
Yeah.
So you got to make sure that you take care of it.
Well, I mean, I was kind of wondering about the dip pins.
Oh, the dip pins.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Because I know the brushes. Now, when you clean a brush, okay. On that, when you clean a brush from ink, you're not using acrylic. You're not using gouache. Unless I guess you're whitening out.
This is what I use. And this is a dirty one already. Let me grab a clean one for you guys. And they come in packs of like 10, like these. This is where I want the others. So, be careful, because I don't want the pens to go everywhere. And here we go. So these are about $8 on Amazon, and like because they have the fringes on the side, they open up to like 3 millimeters or a fourth of an inch. No, an eighth of an inch. So like they give pretty thick lines, but for the most part, unless you put a lot of pressure down, you're gonna get like 0.5 to 0.8 on your lines, and then if you want really characteristic thick lines, you press down really hard and you really scratch the paper, and it's the best noise in the world. And you you can get very sophisticated and lively lines. Like you get that cartoony feel that that a brush can do for you as well, but it's a little less risk.
Yeah, I know it's going to take a little bit for me to get used to that for both of them, but it just kind of gauging that.
Yeah, if you the dip pen goes into a brush easier than say going from fine liner straight into a brush, because you get the feeling for how your elbow and shoulder should be, and the stiffness of your wrist, and from there it's easier to step over into brushes. What I prefer about brushes is that the end of your lines are going to be wavy. They generally get grainy depending on the paper. Where a dip pen will just be a fine liner line, essentially.
Oh,
well, but that also depends on your control of your mastery of the brush.
For sure.
Yeah, you can get really, really sharp chisels with a brush.
Oh yeah.
But it just takes practice, and it's just about letting go and well, see, for like an example, when you're on the Wacom tablet and you anchor your elbow and you pull a really good arc, do the same thing with the brush, and just take a whole piece of paper and just do that and get used to that, and then start curving it more into a semicircle, and then eventually just branch out from there, and all of a sudden through osmosis you'll start to get it, and you're like, oh, okay. But yeah, it's I really wish that I would get back into using the brush. I've got some. It's a time
fun.
thing. Yeah.
Let me really unbegin. Now, there it is. That's the pen I want.
And see, I'll send you. I'll share. There's a couple of guys on Instagram that do cartoonier stuff with a thick. They're probably using a 3 or a 4 brush, and I just sit and watch them reel after reel because it's just like, wow, okay, this is what I need to be doing.
Yeah,
probably Celestri does the same thing.
Oh yeah.
Well, I tried. Okay, a Rapidograph pen. Since you told me Sandra Hope uses the Rapidograph pen, I went looking for a Rapidograph pen.
Well, hang on.
I don't have that kind of money.
Right, that's true. But Spalding and a Rot Ring, I think it's the same company. They make a cheaper version that work just as well. But if you notice, she's just using it for the backgrounds, like the hatching or the chimneys and the bricks. I don't think that she's using them on the figures.
Okay.
So,
well, I don't know. Is there videos of her inking?
Yeah, on Instagram.
Okay, I'll have to go look for that.
Yeah,
she's fantastic, man. She is really.
She's absolutely. I've got actually the 2 Ramos pages that I have. Well, I've got 3 Ramos pages, but she inked 2 of them. Those are both from Crimson, and then Wayne Foucher inked him on Impulse.
Wayne's not bad either.
Yeah, Wayne's pretty good.
I picked up a book yesterday. I was in Ollie's, and I'm not a World of Warcraft person at all, but it was like $4, and it was Walter Simonson did the writing in it.
Yeah,
Mike Bowden or Bowden. I don't know how you pronounce his name. And if you don't know him, he kind of has a Joe Mad style.
Yeah.
To him, and Sandra inked it, and it was really kind of. And why I like Mike's work, I really was for Sandra's. So
yeah,
I picked it up. It was $4. It's like volume 2. Well, whatever. Okay, it's inspiration.
Yeah, I saw those too, and I was going to get them, but they had volumes 2, 3, and 4, and they didn't have a 1, and I was like, you know what?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I'm not going to get them if I can't get the 1. I didn't realize that Sandra Hope had inked it.
Yeah.
I might have picked it up. I don't know anything about World of Warcraft.
No,
to be honest, me neither.
Yeah, I wasn't getting it for the story or anything. I was getting it for the artwork, and they're very beautiful, square bound, hard bound books, and I couldn't believe they were only $4 a piece. So I might have to go get those.
Yeah, she's not throughout the whole thing. I think she looks like she did mostly. It's between Jerome Moore and Sandra Hope, but you could tell Sandra's inking.
Yeah. Did I ever tell a story on here about how she got hired at Wildstorm?
Don't think so.
I don't know if you told it on here. I think I've heard it though.
Okay, she was.
But tell me.
She was at San Diego, and she had a portfolio review with, I don't know if it was Jim or who it was, and based on what they saw, they I think it was Jim, gave her a piece of artwork, a page, and said, "Bring this back to me tomorrow, inked, and we'll go from there." Well, she didn't bring any of her tools with her because it's the first time she'd been to San Diego. So she went up to her hotel room that night, and the only thing she had was a black ballpoint pen. So she inked that entire page with a black ballpoint pen and brought it down to him the next day. And right on the spot, he says, "You're hired."
And that's how you know you're good, and the tool doesn't make the artist.
Well, yeah, and that's called determination.
Mm-hmm.
When the talent and the preparation and skill meet opportunity, boom.
And then she went on to ink The Great War Crest.
Well, yeah. Well, I mean, it's.
I
just
didn't even know it was a comic.
No, I know. It's just the for the kids out there, it doesn't. You don't have to have the, the $100 brush.
No.
You don't have to have the $6,000 drafting table. You just have to have the knowledge and the determination. So don't let what you think you don't have hold you back from just doing.
I mean, the most expensive thing in this entire studio is my drawing pad and my printer. Both standing at €400, so 450 USD. Look, you don't need much. You need a pen, you need a pencil, you need a piece of paper. And good luck, have fun, enjoy yourself.
And the know-how. Let's not forget the know-how. It's good if you have the know-how.
It's good if you have the know-how. It's better if you just practice. And practice doesn't take much.
Yeah, if you practice, you will get the know-how.
And even with practice, though, you have to know how to practice.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of people who practice. Like if you practice the wrong techniques or whatever the case is, you just kind of get stuck in that.
Right. Yeah. You're practicing. You're teaching yourself the wrong muscle memory.
Yeah.
That's how I started.
But the key word there, Marv, is you started.
Yes. Exactly.
I can't tell you how many kids I've talked to at shows that once you express upon them the importance of the practice and the patience, you can see that glaze come over their eyes that, you mean I have to work for it?
Oh, it's the worst.
It's just like, you've lost them. He's like, well, can't do nothing for you there, kid. Move along.
Yeah. Just that I always ... Well, gee, fucking whiz. So did we, and we did it.
Yeah, right?
Look, the only difference between...
Neither do I.
Okay. So last year I went to Renaissance Fair where I actually met my girlfriend for the first time. And I have been going there for the past 10 years, right? Like I knew people there. It had not happened for 3 years straight. I was supposed to be on the writer's market the first time in 2020. So we all know how that went.
Yeah.
And suddenly, I was on the other side of the table and all my old friends came by that I already knew from there. And they were like, Mike, what have you been up to? And I'm like, this. Look at my emporium. And they're like, well, I always wanted to. Well, I have been doing it for the past 2 years. What have you been up to?
Yeah. Yeah, and I always tell the kids
They
at
were
the
waiting
shows.
for a pandemic.
Yeah.
I always tell the kids.
From Cora.
I always tell the kids at the show the only difference between our side of the table and your side of the table is we sat down and actually did the work.
Yeah.
So eat all your vegetables, kids, and get plenty of sleep at night.
Yeah, vegetables. Whatever.
Just give
And
me
if you want imagination,
Get plenty of corn. Chips. No.
look, if you want your imagination to be flowing, there's vegetables for that too. But wait until you're 18, please.
Just give me processed foods and starches, and I'm good to go. Of course, Mike, with you being over there in Finland, you've got a lot better access to better food over there anyway. Oh.
I noticed from being in San Diego, it's not that much different. You guys, like, the only difference between here and there, and also it's the Netherlands, for fuck's sake, the only difference is our minimum wages are up to par to be livable. Sort of. It's getting less. It's getting less and less and less and less and less. But it's still doable. just a bit. But like
Yeah, no, not here.
the quality of food, as long as you don't go to fast food restaurants, is essentially the same.
Hey.
You're poking the bear there, Mike. You're poking the bear.
I'm just being
That's
silly. I'm just being silly.
I know.
The
I know.
food group. McDonald's, Popeyes, Taco Bell.
The 4 food group fast.
No, that's the one thing I won't do is McDonald's. Other than like I would stop in there and just get an order of French fries.
Yeah. No.
Every once in a blue moon, I'll get a craving for a Big Mac, and I haven't had a Big Mac in over a year. And I'll go and I'll get one, and then about 20 minutes later, when it's sitting in my stomach like a rock, I'm like,
Yeah.
Why did you give in?
No, I know that one. It's the same here. Don't worry. McDonald's actually got in trouble over here in the Netherlands a couple of years ago because they had a commercial going on that they only chose the best parts of the cow to make your burgers.
Yeah.
To which our food quality control went, no, you don't. And they got sued for millions.
Well, there was I guess it was probably 10 years ago, maybe a little sooner than that. Taco Bell started this campaign with now using 100% grade A USDA beef. And we would always joke, well, what the hell have you been using? What were you using before?
Now containing real meat.
Yeah.
Exactly. No, like it's, yeah. No, McDonald's came out with a new type of burger that is even more fat than I was used to from them. It is the best edible thing that they have. Probably because it takes only 2 bites instead of 3 to be completely filled up. Yeah, no, don't send me to McDonald's. Send me to Burger King any day, though. It's pretty good here in the Netherlands. Burger King is all right with me.
Oh, I'm sorry. I just found Sandra Hope's Instagram.
Oh, did you?
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, you're excused.
Oh my gosh.
Right?
Oh my gosh. And she is like all over the place. Like she's showing you everything, man.
Yep.
I love when artists do that. Like just be raw. Just show people what you do, man.
Yeah. Yes. It's a great page. And somebody else you might want to check out is Sal Regla. He's all digital now, but just watching him, because you're more digital than I am. I've just started with the digital stuff. I haven't even tried digital inking, but Sal Regla is just a master.
Well, yeah, and of course the thing with digital inking is it's faster, yeah, and you do have an undo button, which I think flying without a net might actually help more than flying with one.
Yeah.
But because you're more careful, right?
Yeah.
But I think really, from what I could see, like the techniques I use in penciling is stuff I use on paper too.
Right.
So like for instance, if you look right there on my screen, you have the girl that I kind of
roughed in
there, right? And what digital helps there is just being able to move over the screen, and get those lines and stuff.
The amount of layers you have there is terrifying to me.
Yeah.
Well, some of them. Well, the deal with a lot of these layers are they're also duplicates of my panels.
Ah, okay, yeah.
So that way I can erase the panel or whatever the case is. But Yeah.
That's
okay. I draw the wrong ones all the time. But when I'm happy with one, I'll lock that sucker in place. So you can't touch it.
I do that. I color, like I'll be shading, putting my shades on the wrong layer. It's a quick fix, but it's just infuriating. I just get mad at myself, but it's like a Control J, which just you take that what you've got on that layer and you create a new layer, and it's just that on there, and you move it up above the proper level, and then you merge it down so it's on the right layer, and then you go back to the existing layer, mask that stuff, and blow it out, get rid of it, and then it's on the right layer. But it's just aggravating. It's like, Jesus Christ, how many times a day, man? How many times a day? Good. It's funny though, because I'll go for 3 hours and never do that. Then I'll go through a period of an hour where I do it 5 times in an hour. And it just drives me nuts.
Yeah, exactly. That's because you get the thing about digital is when you get into drawing, you're just going with it. You want to hit it and go,
Yeah, it's a lot of it is the focus, and you're just so locked in. But see, I would love to ink some of your pencils. I love the pencils.
Oh, thank you. We'll have to do that one day.
Yeah, I think that'd be fun.
Something that I'm proud of. But and I'm enjoying this too. This is for JD and I's comic, Grace's Magi.
Okay.
And so I've got like 5 more pages to finish the first issue on that. So, which is cool because this is actually kind of be well, I don't even know if I should talk about it, but she's more than just she's more than just your basic girl. She's not like other girls.
I see.
She's not like the others. She's really caring.
She's special.
What? Okay, hold on.
Uh-oh. Did you get in trouble?
That's what I'm wondering. Uh-oh. But yeah, just watching Sandra, man, it's a lesson in itself.
Oh,
She's
yeah.
like taking a sponge and showing the ink wash.
Yep.
It's like, shut up, stop being awesome. I can't take this.
Sorry for that.
And she's so cool. She's so approachable and unassuming.
Oh, yeah, she's been at it since what, the mid '90s, late '90s.
Yeah, I think they hired her, and well, she inked Ramos on Crimson,
right?
So that was what, 93, 94?
No, that was 98, 99, huh?
Was it that late?
Yeah. Yeah, because I was working in a video store / comic book store / back room store at the time.
Oh, one of those.
Huh.
It was a mom and pop place that boasted about having the biggest back room in Baton Rouge.
Uh-huh.
You figure that one out.
Okay.
Hey, if it wasn't for that place, I never would have met my wife.
Wow.
It came out.
Did you meet her in the back room?
There's stories of the back room that we'll have to keep in the back room to talk about.
That's for after dark.
I'm sorry, I don't have a card saying not the green room.
But no, it came out. It started in May 1998 and finished in February 2001.
Okay.
But Chris, let me see. It has Sandra as inker, but it also has Chris Alarmo. Did he ink later ones?
He might have.
Let me look. I look at this. I have my Crimson right here. Isn't that funny? Let's see. Oh, Richard Friend did some of this too.
Oh yeah, I knew that.
Let's see. Sandra did issues 1 through 12. Richard did issues 5 and 7. Well, then how did that work? They must have done some filler. Chris and Lerma was assisted.
Okay,
is what it says. So,
because I think how you spelling Chris's last name?
and I'm probably saying it wrong, but Elarmo.
I wonder if he's the guy that's thinking Ramos now on Spider-Man. He's got a new inker, a newer inker. And
Is he doing Spider-Man now?
When he was doing it, I don't know what he's doing right now, but when I was talking to him in Cincinnati, he was talking about how much he loved this inker.
Yeah.
And
he's doing Strange Academy. He was doing Strange Academy. I don't know if he's still doing it. I know he was doing it for longer than he's normally done a book. Recently, because usually he does like six issues, 8 tops.
Yeah.
Of issues.
Well, he was part of that creative team that created that book. So that might be why he's on that a little longer. I said he was part of the creative team, so maybe that's why he's on that a little longer.
Could be. Before that, he was doing Champions. Like I said, I think he only did like maybe 12 at tops, but I don't think he did all of it. So,
yeah.
And he had kind of an interesting style on Strange Academy because it was typical Ramos, but he had kind of a sketchier look to it.
Approach, yeah.
Yeah. No, he was still as of the last book. As of the last issue. So he's
what, Strange Academy?
Let me see if I can find out. Yeah.
I'm gonna have to go pick those up.
Let's see. Oh, it doesn't even have an anchor. Edgar Delgado is doing the colors for it.
Yeah, he's been with him forever.
Maybe that's.
He's actually in the studio with Ramos. They've got a studio together in Mexico City.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, they. I think he was coloring him on. Might have started with him on Out There, or maybe even Crimson. I'm pretty sure he colored him on Crimson.
Wow, I have Crimson right here. Let me look.
I was going to say, yeah. Yeah, mine's over there, but it's underneath a bunch of other stuff.
That's a shame. It hurts my heart to hear that. Not in the first volume. Let's look in the second. See, you have the omnibus, right?
I do.
I have it in 2 volumes.
Okay. Yeah, I've got all the trades, I've got all the floppies, and then I've got the omnibus.
It looks like he did the colors on the covers for ones I have.
Okay.
But it doesn't look like he worked on the book itself. But I tell you who I really like as far as the colors is concerned is Jean-Francois. I'm not going to pronounce this right. Beaulieu.
Yeah.
Beaulieu.
He's amazing.
It's Beaulieu.
Yeah, Beaulieu. I think.
I talked to him before. He's a private person, but he is all over the place.
Yeah, I think he was coloring Jay Fosgett's Bodie Troll, or at least the covers, and a couple other smaller people. But his stuff is just gorgeous.
Well, he was doing. He's back on doing I Hate Fairyland.
Okay.
And
that's Scotty Young's book, right? Yeah.
That's Scotty Young's book. Yeah, he's pretty much synonymous with Scotty as far as that's concerned.
Yeah.
Then but he's been doing stuff here and there and a lot of covers and everything. So he's really real nice guy, real interesting artist, real great colorist. And Glenn's in the chat calling us nerds. My gosh, she says, "Oh, what's up, Joe? Joe D. McPhee's in there. Hey, Joe.
What's happening, Joe?"
Hey, everybody.
And Glenn says, the top brushes and pens are not necessarily going to make a better artist. There has to be some talent in there somewhere.
Yes.
Chad's calling us nerds.
But it helps. It helps.
But it helps. Let's see. What else we have? Glenn said he's never been in a McDonald's, much less eaten their food.
You're a better man for it.
Definitely healthier for it. Oh. So, is there anything I should stay away from? Like, is there pens or anything like you're like, oh, don't ever use that pen. Don't ever use, like, for instance, Sharpie or.
I don't use Sharpies. Sharpies are nice because they're opaque and blah 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 blah. But I find that they bleed a lot.
Yeah.
And they turn really quickly. Now again, I use Sharpies for signs and stuff like that. But
yeah, it doesn't.
I personally go ahead.
No, I was just saying I've never used it for anything that, you know.
Well, I've got a friend that uses Sharpies to color, and he does amazing work with them. His name is Jamie Snell, Snell, and if you go look at his stuff, he's really big into cryptids and Star Wars. That's all. Those are all Sharpies.
Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I personally, no. Microns, as far as inking goes, micron pens. I used those once upon a time back in the day. I don't use them anymore because I just felt that they weren't as opaque. And as far as pens go, my go-tos have been the Copic multiliners or the Tombow brush pen.
Yeah, those are good.
Yeah, I really like those. And then I was on Ian Chase Nicholas's podcast the other night, and he's using it's a Japanese. I've got it written down somewhere. Of course, I can't find it. It's Karataki brush pens.
Oh, my nose.
And those are. I can't find. I've got sheets of notes. Whenever I'm on a podcast, I take notes. Of course, I've been on 100 podcasts in the last month, so
Notes for days.
yeah. Good luck finding those notes.
Yeah.
Oh wait for it. I know.
Yeah, come on, Rodney. Fun. Are you looking for it? Oh, you are looking for it. Okay.
I am looking for it. Yeah.
Ah.
Just going through my notes for Doghouse 2. Make me chuckle. Let's see. What the hell was it? Manga.
I stay away of everything that has color. Everything.
Blank paper. Doctor's papers.
There's a couple of guys that do Creature Box.
Yes.
If you haven't checked that out, and that's what that brown paper reminds me of, because they'll sketch out their search lines with red. It looks really cool, that brown paper.
Yeah.
Like a red colored pencil.
I can't find it. See, when I find it, I'll let you know.
Yeah, I was kind of looking to see. I look like Japanese pins. There's the Tombow. See, I was looking at Tombow in the art store yesterday. I was like, I don't know. I thought I've heard some good stuff about it.
Yeah, they're nice because it's a 2-pin set, like a midnight blue color and then a black color. The midnight blue color has a stiffer nib, and then the black one, it's more flexible, so it's kind of like a brush. That's what I like. If you see me on air inking, I'm either using that or I'm using a Copic multi-liner.
Kuretake?
Yeah, that's it.
Kuretake.
Yep. And that's what Ian was inking with, and he says that's what he uses now to ink. And I think it's a better version of the Tombow brush pens.
Okay.
There's one. There's 2 different types. One has a synthetic, uses synthetic hairs, and the other one has the sable. And that's like he said, that's like $50. But it has the reservoir in it, so you can just keep replacing the ink. So which is nice. It's like the Pentel brush pen, just replace the ink cartridges and you're good to go. So this one actually has a reservoir in it, so you fill it up like the old Rapidographs, and you're good to go.
Oh yeah.
But Glenn says he's got some Rapidographs from the 70s. I have some from the 80s, and I have
probably worth some money.
I have a box of what I call my Frankenstein box of Rapidograph pens. Actually, you know what? I think they're right here. Hang on. It's a pouch. No. I moved them. I put them back in my toolbox. Yeah, I always Frankenstein a pen together because over the course of the years, you can buy them individually. And they're good. They're a good investment if you find the right size. And as long as you keep it clean, that's all I ever used to use for technical stuff. When I was inking backgrounds on the Superior 7, that's all I used. A 0.35. And all those buildings, all the spaceships, all that stuff. Hallways, the wood paneling, all that stuff was Rapidograph.
Glenn, make a note to your notes, huh?
Of course.
Yeah, exactly.
So inking sounds like it's really about, and you go look up inking tutorials, like, and you consistently get the line out towards the light, darker. But nobody really gets over to how to, like, what pen or how do you ink a background and sense, that kind of thing.
That's what separates a good inker from a really good inker. It's different techniques, some of it it's just blows me away.
Glenn says he has some Rapidio pens he never uses. They worth anything? They might be. Some of those are discontinued.
Yeah, they're worth as much as you can get somebody to pay you for them.
You can go on eBay, right?
That's a funny thing. Tina and I talk about this all the time. Is you get all these people that brag about all these things that they have, whether it's a comic book or a vintage Coca-Cola bottle and they talk, oh, it's a collector's item. It's going to be worth something someday. It's like it's going
Not
to be
really.
worth as much as you can find somebody to pay you for it.
Exactly.
Yeah, right. Now, Coca-Cola bottles, however, there used to be some Coca-Cola collectors, man. You go to somebody's house that's a Coca-Cola collector, and they have a room full of the stuff. I would put it on the same bar as like people who collect Mickey Mouse paraphernalia.
Oh, yeah.
Memorabilia. Mickey Mouse paraphernalia. Tickets to the mouse.
Yeah, it's I've been in a couple of those houses, and it's pretty interesting.
But to me, if I walk into a house full of Coca-Cola stuff, I'm like it's a yard sale item. That's how I look at it.
Yeah, I mean, I'm the same way. It's just like, in my younger days, I used to care about that kind of stuff, but now I'm just like, whatever.
There's, it's like being a comic book collector. I wouldn't say I'm a comic book collector. Do I have comic books? Absolutely. Do I necessarily go out to collect them? There's only one. Well, there's only one group of comics that I collect.
Marv, you're awful.
What?
Oh, that's great. I approve so hard. Oh, that's glorious.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Nice.
Oh, wow. Oh.
This is beautiful.
Oh, that's awesome.
We just went meta.
Gold star for Marv. Oh, that's great.
This one is very funny.
Wow. How old is that?
Huh.
Yeah, man, I don't know. It was a guy who was
that is old,
Coca-Cola that gave me these bottles.
Yeah.
We were chatting about old school stuff, and we came across talking about product design, and he told me that if you want some bottles from Coca-Cola, the old stuff, I just can get you a few of them. And I said yes, of course. This will be on my studio very soon that I'm remodeling. So yeah, I'm very happy for having them because this is pop culture history, right?
Pretty much.
Yeah, pretty much.
Love it.
Now, I mentioned that old Coca-Cola bottle was probably back when it had cocaine in it. So just
The only good thing they had in there, and they took it out.
They took it out. We're going back to old Coke. Are you putting the cocaine back?
Back when it was white.
Right after it was supposed to be used for medicine. So
Yeah.
Drunk History did a history on that on the Coca-Cola thing.
Really?
Which is kind of interesting because you drunk here, this is real. And then you find out, yeah, it's real. It's all real. They just get some drunk idiot to tell the story. So I see, Mike, you have tape on your pen nib, and I assume that's to kind of help you with the grip and maybe not put so much wear and tear on your hand, huh?
It's mainly the hand, honestly, because it starts to hurt after a while. And while I never actually had any problems with my thumb and my my middle and pointy finger, my pinky and ring finger actually start to hurt very badly after a while. So that's something that gets helped a little bit with having a thicker handle. But
And,
honestly, it's me putting too much pressure on my fingers when I'm drawing, well, inking actually. When I'm drawing, I don't have any trouble neither digitally. But yeah, if I'm going full quality mode, I need to take regular breaks.
can I offer a suggestion on something other than tape?
Yeah, by all means.
Gauze,
Yeah,
like a medical bandage wrap.
yeah.
Yeah, use that.
Oh yeah.
It's a lot softer on the
Medical
skin.
bandage wrap, huh?
Less, yeah, like an ace bandage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is electrical tape. So it's pretty soft on its own as well. It's kind of like it's rubbery, so it
Yeah.
doesn't slip very much. And that starts to slip after a while. So there's one layer of normal plastic tape, but honestly, it doesn't bother me at all. But I can understand if people are more sensitive to it, then yeah, you want to look for a soft material for yourself. Let's see.
Yeah, because I imagine drawing. I don't get to draw. Well, I kind of do, but I don't get to draw all day, all the time. But I know that it has a tendency to really wear on your hand
Oh yeah.
after a while.
Yeah, you get
And
that,
I've seen the tape before.
you get that callus on your knuckle.
Oh, that's the one. Fotolijst wordt het.
By the way, this is the name of the paper that I'm using. I got it from Amazon. Mitentes, I believe that's how it's spelled.
Yeah.
And
rough.
it's very cool because you have the white paper, and then you have a bunch of colors, and it's not expensive. I don't remember how much it was on Amazon, but you can get 10 sheets for very cheap, and it's worth it. I can tell you that it's very worth it, especially for portraits. So if you can check that out, please do, because you can get very cool effects with this paper.
Oh
As you
yeah,
can see,
nice.
the whites just work very well here.
Ooh, yeah.
Very cool paper. I love working on this. I've got to work more.
You use a white pencil to get those highlights, huh?
Oops.
You use that white pencil to get the white highlights, huh?
Yeah, I use the 7200 from this one. There went. I use this one. I don't have. I think Prismacolor is the best for this, but on Amazon you can't get a single pencil. You have to buy the old bunch of pencils. I haven't found them. I haven't found any pencil alone. Maybe I'm searching wrong. I don't know, maybe. But this is the one that I'm using. It's not very good because it's not soft enough for me. But it works. But I hear that Prismacolor is very good. It's a great pencil to draw. But unfortunately, I haven't had the chance to have them. And in Portugal, we don't have Prismacolor. So
Oh, really?
yeah, I tried, and we don't have them. At least that I could find, right?
Yeah, I think I have some colored pencils that are Prismacolor that came from Amazon. I have yet to freaking pull out and use that I want to, but I haven't gotten to that yet. So Glenn says he's working on some hand lettering today, direct to the pages. Great when you get it right, a bitch when you don't. So you have to get it right the first time. I see you doing some lettering of your own today, Mike.
Yeah, no. I'm translating Lavacora as a whole because I'm going to publish the volume in Dutch. So I'm literally going through every single panel, getting every single bit of lettering in there, and translating it slowly but surely. I just started Lavacora 3. I got a while to go.
Oh my.
Yeah, that's 150 pages that I have to re-letter, translate, do a whole lot.
Wow, that's crazy.
Yeah, it's not fun, but it has to happen. I made a promise, and I got a couple of people that actually got the Dutch version. So,
Oh boy.
I see I made a mistake. Whoop. There we go.
Well, have fun with that.
Where there's a whip, there's a way.
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
The worst part is I'm doing it to myself. Oh well.
How about some Rankin and Bass flashback? MarV, Glenn asked, have you ever tried pastels? They would look great with your style.
Yeah, I saw that right now. I just answered it. Yes, I have, but it didn't work for me. I'm more than a graphite and charcoal guy.
Fair.
I tried also watercolors and other stuff like oils, even blacks, but I don't adapt very well, and if I don't adapt in a short amount of time, I just quit because that's how I work. If I don't do it right in a few hours, I just move on.
That makes sense.
That's why I love charcoal and graphite.
So is that? Could we call that? Is that you need more patience, or it's just that?
No, it's just that I don't know. I try something, and if it doesn't work, I just don't do it. Not when it comes to drawing, because I used to spend more time that I'm spending right now, and to get to know how to get to my style now and the way that I draw. It took me a long time, and
Okay.
I had a lot of patience to know how to draw the way I draw. But when it comes to supplies, I tried even once natural wax, and I wasn't able to. But my wife in an hour just was able to do a landscape. So yeah, that's that. I usually don't take too much time on supplies. If it works, it works. If it not, I'm not trying to waste. Maybe it's the wrong word, but to waste my time on something that I'm not good at.
Okay. No, I wasn't being facetious. I was
No,
curious.
yeah. I understand. I can have patience for one thing, and the patience that I have is because I really enjoy doing something, even if I don't get immediate results. but I try to improve because I know that I'm gonna use it well, you know. But if I have that feeling that I'm not going anywhere, I'm not wasting my time on it, you know.
Yeah. No, I'm kind of the same way. If because you know, I always say that us artists are like our Toys R Us is the art supply store. So you see all these new brushes and pens and stuff, and you want to
Oh
buy
yeah.
everything and you want to try it, which is fine if you can afford that. But sometimes you have to pick and choose what you want to try out, and you know, you want it to work because you spent the money on it, but sometimes they just don't work, and you do have to move on.
Yeah, Glenn is saying here, it's all in the mind. Yeah, it's true. Basically, it's true. If you gotta be good at something, like in my day job, I've done a bunch of stuff, and I consider myself a good worker, and I've done a lot of different things. And I never work on furniture, and I'm working right now on furniture for the past 4 years, and it's something that I really enjoy because I found it funny, and I knew that I was going to like it. So I did my best on becoming the professional that I am today. I think I'm a very good worker on my job, and it really comes to our mindset. But if I know that I'm not good at one thing, and I was at a job a few years ago before entering at this factory, that I knew that I wasn't good and that I wasn't going anywhere. So I just gave up. I said, "Don't waste. I'm not gonna waste your time." And I did that, and I move on. The same thing with art.
Yeah. So do you build furniture? What are you doing?
No, basically the furniture comes in their raw form, you know, and
Uh-huh.
then I just apply some materials to make them presentable so they can be painted,
Right.
you know. If there are holes, I just cover them, cracks, whatever. I can not reconstruct, but make the
Repair.
mold
Yeah. Repair,
Yeah.
furniture
refabbing them.
Yeah.
presentable.
Well, you know the
Sand
interesting
it,
thing
put
about that, Marv, is
everything, the edges right, everything smooth. Take the excess of paint that there's there. Put some, let's say there's a part lacking on that piece, and I'll make sure that that piece is completed, and then I prepare that to be painted. That's my job.
well, see that to me that I I've always loved working woodworking. I took it all through junior high and high school. It's very it in it of itself is an art form. I have an older brother that's mentally disabled, and he is. If you put him in a wood shop and you show him what he needs to do, he is unbelievable. And I think it's kind of therapeutic because it's you and whatever piece that you're working on, and you're molding it, you're shaping it, and you're making it a presentable piece. And for me personally, I always found that to be very therapeutic.
Yeah, but unfortunately, I don't create anything, you know.
Right.
And it's a shame because it's something that I really enjoy, woodwork. But I'm just do the final part, the part after the piece is created. I just do the final touches before
Right.
painting. Unfortunately, I don't know how to do anything in that matter. But yeah, it's beautiful. I've been watching a lot of people on Instagram making great art pieces, basically
Yeah.
boats and furnitures, tables. Wow. Does your brother sculpt?
He does not, but I'm sure if he found it interesting and set his mind to it, he would be good at it. He builds models,
Mm-hmm.
and one time he lost one of his rearview mirrors on his. It was an old truck that he was putting together, and he couldn't find the part. So, what he did was he was working at the kitchen table, and of course there's a tablecloth on the kitchen table, and it had a little texture to it. So what he did was he took a drop of model glue, and put the drop on the tablecloth, and he took an extra stem from the parts. How the parts all come on little plastic stems, and he stuck that stem in the bubble, and he let it dry. And I said, "What are you doing?" And he's like, "Just wait, I'll show you." And a half hour later, when it dried, he carefully plucked that little bubble off of the kitchen table, and he turned it over, and he says, "Look," he says, "I've got a headlight. I've got a lamp now."
Yeah.
And I was just like, "Whoa." And if I'd have been sitting at that table, I would have never thought of that in a million years. But that's what he does. He just constantly does stuff like that blows my mind.
But now you got to flip it around, and he looks at you, and you're here drawing Boba Fett or the Mandalorian, or interchangeable character from Star Wars. And his mind gets blown, right? Like it's being good at a different thing and allowing to not be perfect at something.
You know what's funny though is he doesn't. He's not. He doesn't. He's like, he sees what I do, and he's like, okay, well, I'm going to go do my thing. That's just he's not wired that way, He doesn't look at something that any of us do and go, wow, that's really awesome. He's just like, okay, well, I'm going to go work on my stuff. I'll see you later. He's so funny. Not in any discerning way or anything. It's just he's like, okay, he looks at it and he acknowledges it, and he just, all right, I'm gonna go do me.
Like that's fine too. Like I'd rather have that than pure apathy.
Yeah.
And he at least acknowledges, like, okay, this is your thing, enjoy it. I have my own.
Right. That's exactly it. He's good at it.
Yeah, like he's good at it. Cool. Good for him. I'm good at something else. Cool.
Yeah, like if I ever won the lottery, I would go buy an old building and fill it full of woodworking machines, and like a planer and a joiner and table saws and stuff like that. And I would say, hey, what do you want to build, buddy? Let's build some bookshelves, because I got a ton of books I need to put on some shelves.
And he'd be like, really? We're going to go to IKEA.
No, he loves to build. He'd be like, I need something to put all my Legos on.
So I started a new job. At least I had a trial day yesterday.
Oh, nice.
And I really liked it, because moving has been very quiet for the last couple of months, and that's also why there's open for commissions down there in my name, because there's a gap in my budget that I need to fill up. That being said, I looked for new work, found something, and what I'm doing right now is making specialized gutters for molten aluminium.
Wow.
From heat-resistant fabric.
Huh.
Yeah. That is something I never even considered saying. But it's a lot of hand sewing. I'm actually very much enjoying myself. I can get around with the 2 people I have to work with. They're just as quirky as I am, so it works, right?
Well, that's always a bonus.
Oh yeah, no. So probably from next week onward, that is going to be a pretty much full-time job because
Nice.
I need to pick things up where I haven't been able to. So that's going to be a thing. And
That's cool.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's
Well, at
getting,
least
it's
you
getting
don't
back
have
to it.
to move around heavy things, right?
No, not at all. This is a lot of hand power though. Like where this isn't lifting anymore. This is sewing through very thick materials and with very thick thread. So it's more of that, and trying to keep my back straight even more, because you're doing it for 9 hours straight. But it's very specialistic. It's very it's very interesting, and I like sewing. So hey, why not, right?
No doubt. But, many years ago, I used to work in for lack of a better term, it was a factory. It wasn't really a factory. It's just a warehouse where we assembled vinyl shutters.
Fair enough.
Mm.
It's a sweatshop.
Yeah, and I worked with a bunch of Vietnamese people. And then I worked with a bunch of locals. So the interesting thing is I got along so well with the Vietnamese people because they were just so genuine, and and I just love that, and that just made the job it was a tedious job. There wasn't anything hard about it other than standing for 10 hours a day, in one spot.
Yeah.
But I remember, and everybody has a radio that they listen to and everything. And I had the radio on, and Let It Be came on the radio, which, it's a song I've heard for the last 40 years, whatever. Yeah. And I look over, and this little guy's name was Ping. And he came over, and he was just in trance. And I'm like, what's wrong? And he pointed at the radio, and he said, such a beautiful song.
Aww.
Okay, we're going to get along just fine.
Oh, yeah. No, the guy that I'm mainly working with right now has a Motorhead tattoo on the back of his skull. Walks around in a Motorhead shirt, doesn't matter which day of the week, is completely covered in tattoos, and is the sweetest motherfucker that I know. Yeah, he's a total sheep in wolf's clothing, and I love it. I'm like, no, we will get along fine, Michael.
Yeah. And he said every day you go to work, he goes right before you go to work, time to play the game. You just go right at
it. No, it's just really funny. And I immediately went, you know what? This is exactly the kind of job that I would find myself doing. And if I had looked at myself 10 years ago, this would have been exactly the same kind of job that I would have found myself doing if it wasn't for comics.
Right.
Doing your own thing, doing something very special, and a very specialist, and just doing your own thing all day long, and doing something that you know how to do. That's it.
Yeah.
It's amazing. I love it. I sign up for it any day. I swear, it's the best. Speaking of which, how far did everyone get in the last 1.5 hours? Because time bloody well flies.
Wow. Well, I fixed his arm and some of the other stuff, so I might be pretty close to ready to ink this bad boy.
Let's see. Ooh, yeah.
His left arm was all jacked up, so I fixed it, put the gun in his hand. I hate drawing guns.
Yes.
Have I told you that? I can't stand drawing guns. Anyway.
Fair.
Having said that, I think I got it right. Hey, Chad says my boss's entire office is just all X-Men Emma Frost stuff. And the Frank says, hello, everybody.
Hey. Welcome. Right as we're pretty much shutting down.
Yeah.
Rodney, where can people find you?
They can find me on Rodney Fyke Art on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitch, as well as the Hasm YouTube channel or Hasm.com. It's HAZZUM.com, where you can check out all of our books. And most excitedly, right now, we are live on Kickstarter with our brand new book, Doghouse.
Hold on, let me see. We have an overlay for that.
Somebody in the house might have had a little something to do with as well.
John Celestri.
So please go to Kickstarter and check out Doghouse, DAWGHAUS, and give it some love or give it a share it out. And we say thank you.
Absolutely.
MarV, how about you? Where can the people find you? Ooh, nice. You flipped it around.
Nice.
Thank you.
That looks great.
Thank
Okay,
you.
Corral.
Yeah, this is better. Yeah, this is very, very cool to draw. Very fun.
Oh yeah!
To
Wow,
work
man.
with this paper. I definitely recommend it to everybody. You can find me on Instagram, MarV Scene Killer. I'm not posting on Twitter because I deleted my account. It's not my thing, and I'm not usually on Facebook, but I'm posting there from Instagram. You can find me there, and stay tuned because Fund My Comic is coming. I'm one of the guys who is testing the platform. If you don't know what that is, it's a new platform for crowdfunding games and comics. You can find the link on my Instagram if you want to check that out. And yeah, hopefully we can see each other next week. And have a great weekend, guys. And thank you once more for having me on the show.
Always a pleasure, dude. All right, let's see. Badooms.
What?
Yeah, you.
Yeah.
Where can people find you?
I'll probably be back here next Saturday on Sketchy Saturday. Other than that, you can check out my Linktree, /C Michael Lanning, and yeah, that's about it right now. Coming Tuesday, April 4th is when we will be launching Build a Comic Workshop on Tuesday night. So check that out right here on the Comics Network.
Nice.
Well, and I'm Mike Jimmy DeBruin. You can find me over on fairysands.com where we sell all of our books. As you can see back there, actually that's not even everything. That is only Lavacora and Tall Tales. I'm so sorry, I need to rearrange that whole rack. And yeah, on Thursday night and afternoons, 1 p.m. Eastern on Hung and Animation, where I animate the animated pilot for Lavacora. Of course, here on Sketchy Saturday. Though next week I am at a convention, first one of the year. I'm looking forward to it. We'll see what happens. But yeah, it has been fun, and hopefully we will see you next week.
See you, everybody.
Bye-bye.